Rock 108, Iowa's Pure Rock. Hey, it's Ned hanging out in studio today. And normally I get to interview rock artists and whatnot, but today I'm interviewing one of the more rock in the ring and rocking it out and having a good time. WWE Road to Wrestlemania rocks the US Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids this Sunday night. Great seats, of course, still available for the high-flying action that only WWE can provide. And today, I have one of the greatest wrestlers to ever enter the ring on the phone with me, and that is SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Woo! How's it going?
Oh, man, Ned, thank you so much. I'm doing well, sir.
Good stuff. Now, of course, you've got the big match happening this Sunday night where you'll be defending your title against Natalya and Ruby Riott in a triple threat match. Do you have any predictions for this upcoming Sunday? Are you going to lay down the SmackDown?
I'm definitely going to lay down the SmackDown. Absolutely. Then I'll have Fastlane a week after that, and then hopefully going into WrestleMania as SmackDown Women's Champion.
Oh, it's going to be so cool. I've always wanted to go to WrestleMania, but I've never had the opportunity to go yet. I'm hoping to at some point because just looking at the crowd and the massive amount of people that show up to these things, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, even if you're not a wrestling fan, everyone enjoys WrestleMania. It's such a spectacle.
Yeah, and that's a good way of looking at it, is a spectacle because, it's like a rock concert beyond anything with all the craziness and all the excitement. And I've had to defend wrestling for well over 20 years of my life. I'm like, it's just something you absolutely need to see live.
Well, it's not even just a day thing. It's a whole week-long event.
Right.
With NXT, with the Hall of Fame, with NXT TakeOver Saturday night. Then you have Raw the next night, Tuesday, SmackDown. Yeah. Everyone has to go to one WrestleMania if you're not a fan, just to see it. Right. Especially the costumes, the gear. Yeah.
It's an absolute blast, and I watch it with friends every single year. So I'm excited to hopefully end up at a WrestleMania live at some point in my life.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
Hell yeah. Well, now, wrestling has been a big part of your life since basically the beginning with your father, of course, all the way up to today. How do you feel the wrestling landscape has changed over the years?
I think it changes even month to month. Look at the first ever women's elimination chamber last month.
Yeah.
And then before that, the first ever women's Royal Rumble. We have 2 women's titles, the Raw, the SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it's continuing to evolve even now. But the landscape, of course, no longer being called divas, superstars. And when viewers watch the show, they don't go, wow, that was a great women's match. They go, that was just a great match. And when you hear the women's eventing, you're not as surprised anymore because it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to look at the audience and see kids and families wearing a lot of the female merchandise, it just goes to show that we're just as big a part of the show as the male superstars.
Yeah, definitely. And that's so cool because, I've been watching wrestling for years and years now. The crowds and especially the wrestlers now today are so diverse, and we live in such a diverse country that we're able to do this kind of thing. And it's amazing to see every single nationality, every single gender, whatever it may be, in the ring. It's truly an event for everyone, no matter who you are.
It is. Oh, I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
You look at Shinsuke Nakamura, who's going to be there Sunday, and then you have Asuka on the Raw brand. It is a global company.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cool to see, and I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. Now, you've been in wrestling for quite some time now. Who were some of your biggest inspirations in the wrestling world throughout the year? Like, what were some of the wrestlers that you're like, yeah, that was that person?
Well, growing up, I always loved Dusty Rhodes, and then my uncle Arn Anderson, who was part of the Four Horsemen. But I guess my biggest inspiration was my little brother Reed, because he was the one that got me into wrestling, and he was the one that wanted to be a wrestler his whole life.
Yeah.
But I honestly mean this. The women that I work with, because this wasn't something that I knew I wanted to do, but the Four Horsewomen and then the other women who were on the main roster when I first started, like Natalya, the Bella Twins, Beth Phoenix, Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, were women that I all looked up to and took pieces from them because they all knew this is what they wanted to do.
No, definitely, yeah. And you guys are kicking ass beyond anything. And speaking of, obviously, women in the WWE, one of the biggest things that kind of came out recently was Rowdy Ronda Rousey is now in the WWE. Are you planning on giving her the Queen's boot at some point?
Well, the easiest thing she'll do in our company is sign her contract.
Right.
So see what the future holds.
See what happens. Yeah, see, maybe we'll see a match between Charlotte Flair and Ronda. Who knows? Anything's possible.
Absolutely.
Now, when you're not giving the Queen's boot to Ronda at some point, what are some of your spare time activities when you're not in the ring?
Well, right now I am in LA promoting WrestleMania, and I got to spend the day with my best friend, on screen and off screen, Becky Lynch.
Cool.
Yesterday we went to the gym, found our favorite breakfast place, and usually spending time with my family because we're on the road so much, 265 days a year.
Yeah.
I just moved back to North Carolina, so I enjoy seeing my niece at her gymnastics meets, and my nephew goes to boarding school, and getting to see him when his parents pick him up on a Thursday. So, yeah, I'm pretty boring when I'm not in my robe and wrestling boots.
Right. Hey, it's the true life aspect of it, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now since you're kind of talking to a music radio station, which is, Rock 108 here in Iowa, when you whip out your iPad or your iPod or your phone or whatever it may be, what are some of the music bands or artists that you're listening to?
Anywhere from Guns N' Roses, Red Hot Chili Peppers, James Bay.
Oh, nice.
Pink. I mean, it really just depends on my mood.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It kind of depends. It kind of depends. Like sometimes I'll listen to like some sort of hardcore heavy metal, but then the next minute I'm listening to like, I don't know, Anne Marie or whatever. It just kind of depends on the day.
Yeah, exactly. Like one day I'll have just Adele on the whole day.
Yep, exactly. But that's what's music, and that's what's so cool about, doing what we do and listening to music, because it just motivates you beyond anything, right?
100%.
Yeah. Now, one of the cool things is that you're known in Sports Illustrated, you're right, as the top 50 most athletic women, which is amazing and a huge honor. So for anyone that's out there that's got that New Year's resolution of losing weight and getting into shape, do you have any advice for them?
Yes, I do. So having a plan makes the biggest difference. Like even for me, I call myself a professional athlete, but I need someone to hold me accountable. And whether that's, my nutritionist or my trainer writing me a diet or a workout plan, just having my foods prepared, it really makes a difference. And then also, if you have a buddy to do it with and someone who supports you, I think that's great too. Like on the road, my best friend and I always hold each other accountable and try to eat healthy together. So I just think it's either finding someone to do it with or finding someone to hold you accountable.
Yep.
And people have to realize this is a lifelong process, not just, hey, I'm going to be good for 3 weeks to 6 weeks. It's deciding to make it a lifestyle and moderation.
That's probably some of the best advice I have heard in a very long time. That's so great. So, of course, I'll let you go so that way you can get things kind of wrapped up for today. But I want to know, is there anything that we should look forward to the upcoming WrestleMania this April?
Yeah, my new entrance robe. I cannot wait to wear it. I don't know who I'm facing yet.
Oh, man.
But I do know that I'll be styling and profiling. I'm so excited.
It's going to be so cool.
It's my favorite time of year.
Oh, yeah, and it's especially one of mine, too. It's always such an event and such a great time. Of course, Charlotte, thank you so much for calling in. We will see you Sunday night, US Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids. And, of course, Charlotte Flair defending her title, Women's Championship. So, once again, Charlotte, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me. You too.
All right, see you later.